We are recording.
So the way we thought about this exercise today is that I've been in some of Tomas' courses, and he's a great screenwriter teacher. So I asked him to be here with us because I'm only a researcher. He is the screenwriting teacher. So he organized some exercises to propose to us in this 1 hour, and I'm going to be a part of the students as we all are. So Tomas, now the word is with you, and if you need me in any translation thing, I'm always here.
Oh, I muted you, Thomas, so you'll have to unmute yourself.
I am muted myself now?
Yes.
Great. Okay, I'm kind of I'm very new here, so I don't understand how you do this stuff. I'm gonna start like talking some stuff before I do the exercise. The first thing that I do when I start any kind of class, it's knowing what every student wants to do with their lives, and in some way trying to understand what in the film industry they want to work, what they like to watch in first place, and then how they want to apply what they like to what they are going to do. Like, I love Game of Thrones. I want to write something like Game of Thrones in my life. I love like small indie feature films. I want to do that. And I try to apply all the things that we kind of exercises and theoretical studies to all of the things they want. Because in my experience, the more that I kind of applied in a generalistic way, the types of screenwriting tips or screenwriting structure, the students, they kind of used to do something, all the same kind of thing. They didn't do their own thing with the structure and stuff that I try to teach them. So I'm trying more and more to talk with them during classes, and I'm not doing that much nowadays exercises during classes because of that, because of this new thing that I'm trying. But sometimes I try to do some exercises just to let them like stop feeling shy or something like that, because they are kind of shy in the beginning, and some people never talk, or they talk just a little word, and I'm trying to understand how to make them talk more, because I think in the class is the moment that they should like talk a lot and take off all the questions, and don't go home with a lot of things in their mind, and try and just get home and write. And so that's what I'm trying to apply a little bit. The one of the exercises that I brought for you, it's can I like share this screen?
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
I might have to make you a presenter.
Great.
Let's see if I need to do that. Oh no, you should. I think you are a presenter already, so you should be able to share. Yeah.
Let me find the button. Where are you, little button? Okay, control. It's control. No.
Yeah. So you're in control of it now.
Okay.
There should be a share button with a little arrow.
Where are you, share button? I'm so bad on those things.
For me, it's in the top right of the screen.
Oh yeah, it's on the top right. Yeah, great.
And then you can upload a file.
Yeah, like my computer Microsoft Teams won't be able to okay, share. Share a window, I guess. Yes. Where are you? I never used Microsoft Teams before, so I'm learning.
Yeah.
As we go.
Right. Yeah, there should be an option to like upload a file. You can upload a file, So if you have like a PPT file, you can upload that, or you can like share your screen as well.
I guess I found. Let me see what's going to happen now. We need permission to share.
So we can see your Buscando este Mac window.
Oh, you can see what it, like if I open that, you can see?
Yeah, so we can see that, like, looks like File Explorer window with
okay.
Icons down the left, AirDrop and Presentes, Aplicativos, Mesa, and we can see writing exercises.
There is like, oh, what did I mean? Let me try this one. I'm gonna share the entire screen. Now you can see like the PPT for writing exercise.
Yeah, we can see that. There should be an option to just upload the PPT as well. If you go into share and scroll right down to the bottom, it says there's a browse my computer button.
There is like share entire screen or add the background now.
So for me, it's right at the bottom of the share menu. It says there's a browse my computer option, and then you can upload your PPT file through that.
Okay, let me see now.
Yes.
Something is happening. Oh my God, I'm in the middle of the stuff. Okay.
This is the version I've not seen before.
Wait,
so that we can see part of your PowerPoint now, and you floating in front of
Great. That's funny.
But we can't see all of the PowerPoint actually at the moment, or at least
okay.
Maybe if you try presenting. Now we can.
Okay.
But with your head in front of part of it.
I'm in the middle of Michael Jordan now. Okay. Weirdly, I'm here in the middle of those guys. And the first exercise that I like to do is one exercise that I did with a literature professor that I had once. And it was like one of the simplest exercises I ever made. And somehow it brought me like the best writing that I ever wrote. It's from this weird exercise. And it's very simple. He tried always to find three figures, three people, three things that are very different from each other. And they put 1, 2, 3 together. And then I had to leave for like 5 to 10 minutes and write a story, 1 page, 2 page, 3 pages. I couldn't like write more than that in 5 to 10 minutes. And I had to apply all of those three people somehow in the story. I remember that when I did that for the first time, it was like, it was a cartoonist, it was this actor and some famous TikTok person. And when I tried to think how to write about those three people, I was kind of stuck. And I started to think that this might not be the people that I'm going to write about, but this might be something that my character can care about. So I started to write a character that wanted to be like those people. And I started to think that maybe my narrator wanted to be like those people. Maybe my narrator hate one of those people, want to be just like the other one. And maybe my character could be one of them, or one of those people, if he can travel in time during this narrative. So I started to go on and on about how this could be a good exercise to make us write kind of anything in a short amount of time. And one thing that was good during this exercise was the fact that people really wanted to share what they wrote after. I don't know why exactly, because it sounds like a game. And then people get like happy. Oh, we are playing the same game, all of us. So let's try to read all of our texts to see what we have in common and what we don't. And I think that was a great thing to unite the class, the entire class. And also the text that I wrote with this exercise the first time that I did was selected to a lot of labs as a writer after. So it's something that is useful to beyond the exercise. It's something that you can bring to your own writer's life and try to apply to other things. So I chose these three people just by randomly today when I was thinking to three weird people to be together. And that's one of the exercises that I thought about bringing to you. So I have no idea how to go, what we do now.
So now we should write something for these three.
Okay. Look, I can travel. Okay. So we should like take 10 minutes and write a story that those three people can be around, can be like a character, can be someone in the story, can be just a quote in the story of those three people, and we come back in 10 minutes like that.
Mm-hmm. And
Perfect.
should it be like a complete story from start to finish?
I always try to be complete. It could be like a half page, can be like one page, can be like 3 lines. It's something that could make sense in any kind of like story from beginning to the end. I always try to make from beginning to the end because I think it's very important for students and for me also. Like the end of a story is the moment that I really understand what the writer really wanted to tell. So that's something, and sometimes that there are some amazing surprises that since we know that somehow this story is around those three characters, or these three characters, like it was like this sparking light for us to start to write. Some people, they just don't use the characters till the end, and there is a little surprise for all of us, and we have like some sort of expectation that we're going to meet those people somehow in the story. And so that's why I enjoy like the idea of beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah. Can I ask what's the name of the boy, the Pokemon boy?
Somehow I like the idea that you don't know, but I like kind of this idea, like you can use that image and not use his name.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the first time I did this exercise, there was one person that I didn't know the name. And that was nice because it made me think more about story than like the rule to use that person. And my teacher told me that, no, you don't need to care about the name. Like, use the image, use like the weird connection that your brain gonna do when he sees those three figures.
Okay. So we begin writing?
Okay. Like, do we close this for 10 minutes? Like, I don't know.
You can just leave it there, and we'll just write for 10
Okay.
minutes, and you can
It's
tell us
like,
when to stop.
okay, I'm gonna put in my phone like 10 minutes, and I'll call you when it's done. You can start right now. You have 5 minutes to finish your stories now. Time.
I'm not finished. Pens down.
Now, what we would traditionally do is each student that wants to read would read, and we don't really talk a lot about what's around the story, but the one thing that I'm enjoying a lot to do in class is make people read out loud things. When we are in home, we just read things in our mind, and it's different when we read our own things. And especially working with film, which is a language that is meant to be listened, not read. So I think it's kind of interesting when we start to, like the evolution of this exercise in the end would be we read the entire script, we read like the characters, the voices, and we try to understand what's the tone that we want the people to read and what's the tone that we are reading and all of the complexities around the reading something that we wrote. Shall we do that?
Yeah, I can read. I didn't finish.
Yes, let's start.
I can read. I wrote in fiction as well. I wasn't sure if the task was to write fiction or to write in script, but I've written about a page and a bit of an unfinished.
That's perfect.
An unfinished short story, and I was just about to get to the third. I've got 2 in there, and I haven't read it back to see what I wrote as well. So I will discover this at the same time as reading.
Discover.
He's thinking about Michael Jordan, about how to be the best. He's thinking about how Michael Jordan worked at nothing but becoming the best, and how he didn't drink because if he drank, he wouldn't be the best. He's thinking about how Michael Jordan said once he made a decision about something, what to do, what to eat, where to go, what car to buy or not buy, he never thought about it ever again. It was done. Decision made. He's thinking about all the things Michael Jordan must have decided. Girlfriends to dump or marry, franchises to sign or not sign for, $100 million sponsorship deals from multinational corporations with questionable human rights records to accept or not accept, when he rides his bike into the Volvo. The Volvo is parked skew-whiff, half on and half off the pavement on the road outside the Hand in Hand, where the sort of girlfriend he has come to break up with lives. And when he gets to his feet on the opposite side of the Volvo's bonnet to his bike, there is a surprised woman sitting in the driver's seat, looking at him with a hand over her surprised mouth. "You're bleeding, love," she says, through the passenger side window once she's lowered it, and he can hear the smoking regulars outside the Hand in Hand making comments along the lines of "fucking hell." He looks down at the pajama bottoms decorated with Pikachus, which he has recently started wearing out of the house, he doesn't know why, and sees a tear, a scrape, and a tear of blood. His palms are throbbing. His hands are shaking. "What the bloody hell were you doing?" she says in a tremulous voice, and he can smell something like gin and cigarettes and cherries. "Have you been eating cherries?" he says, and she looks at him as if he's some kind of oracle. I don't know why I wrote oracle, but I went with it. They are almost exactly below the sitting room window of the flat where the sort of girlfriend he has come to break up with lives. He can see the underside of the potted herbs he helped her to hang in her window box. Through the front window of the Hand in Hand, and that's where I ran out of time, but I was just about to say, through the front window of the Hand in Hand, he can see Prince Charles on the TV. And then there was more. I don't know where it was going from there, but there was. I think I had another page to get to the end.
Yes, I'm curious. If you ever finish, send me, please.
Okay, I will.
That's so nice.
Things were obviously coming out of my subconscious.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how I think it's kind of gamified because it's like you need to get somewhere with those people, and like one become like some sort of inspiration, the other one can become like what is just said, like a TV image, the other can become like a pajamas, and this is like when I was talking to this friend of mine that teaches in Colombia, and she read a piece that I wrote, and because I never studied a lot of literature, so I'm kind of trying to understand how can I apply everything that I studied of screenplay and theater to literature. And she told me that one of the things that she liked when she read it was like the idea of simple characteristics that people like, the kind of clothes people use, the smell they have, and that's not something that I consider like it's not that I think about that when I'm writing, but since I came from a media that you need to tell what people are clothes are, you need to tell the smell of the room, you need to tell those things to the actors, and so it comes natural for me. And I think the first time that I realized that was doing this exercise, because I need to apply certain things that are very like meticulous, like very small, because I need to fulfill the requirements of the exercise. And that's like, there are writers that I started to think when I read nowadays, how they apply all of the little things that make some sort of unique as we read. And we don't need that much. I think that's one of the things that I came about to realize doing this exercise and reading and think about these small things like a pajama, a Pikachu pajama or something like that. Nice. Next.
I can go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't write prose. Sorry, I can't write prose quickly. I'm not a prose writer. But what I did do, can I share the screen or can I just read it?
Sure, you can do whatever you want, I guess.
Am I? Is it possible I can do that?
Yeah. I think you should be able to share as well. Yeah.
Okay, share. Yep, allow. Yep. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, 1 second.
Do I need to stop sharing? Maybe it helps.
No, I'll yeah, we'll just.
I think it will just overtake. Take over.
There we go. Okay, can you see that?
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay, so I just wrote a short script. Okay, so I'm going to read it. I'm going to read all the parts, and I'm going to do some acting as well. So, int locker room day. Michael Jordan enters, pissed. Leave me alone. Charles Barkley follows him. Just call me the king. You ain't no king. I am if I beat you. Michael sits. You didn't beat me. Beat me. What are you talking about? Beat me. Charles. The hell I did. You want to go around the 7? I turned my ankle. Otherwise, Michael drains the contents of a water bottle. Otherwise what? Oh, sorry, cancel. Otherwise, I'll whoop your ass. Michael throws a water bottle at Charles. Charles laughs. You may be the GOAT, but I am the king. I know it's only a pickup game. No one was there but you and me. So it was like it never happened, huh? But you have to tell the world that even though you got 6 strings, to your zip, right? And even though your sneakers sell more than Pokemon cards, you couldn't even beat Pikachu, and you know it. You and I will know that I am better than you. Michael throws a towel at Charles. I'm better than you. No, you're not. I sure am. I was pump faking, cross-fading, throwing up 3 off the glass, driving through the paint. You're getting old, my brother. It's not age, Charles. It is. And I should have put some dollars on it. Something told me I should. The fact that you ain't got none would have told you that. Okay. I'll give you another chance to get even. Michael towels dry. You'll do that? It's only fair. A real king should have the grace to. Michael takes a deep breath. Okay, then, let's go. Michael walks to the door. I'll show you. Charles follows. Charles pulls up, shrieking, I've turned my ankle. Michael turns back to him, concerned. You okay, my brother? I can't play. Are you sure? Yep, but I'm still the king. There you go. Yeah, I mean, it was yeah, I've been watching lots of basketball documentaries. So when Michael Jordan popped up, it was like that, yeah. And Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley had this rivalry, if you know anything about basketball. And so Charles, I saw the picture of Charles, but he's King Charles rather than Prince Charles. So I thought I'd kind of, you know, Pokemon was hard to get in, but hey, what can you do?
And the Pokemon line was a great line. Made me laugh. Great. Do you act? Because you're a good actor.
Yeah. Used to be an actor back in the day, yeah. But yeah, it's yeah. But yeah, it's funny because it was, you know, obviously I'll show you my Michael Jordan. Hang on. Oh no, I haven't got it. I was going to show you my Michael Jordan T-shirt. So I'm a big fan. So when his name popped up, sometimes it's really weird how you gravitate towards certain things. And yeah, it was just like, I'm going to write about Mike. That's it, you know. So that was really, and I'd been watching basketball documentaries as work avoidance all day. So so it was just, yeah, good.
Great. And that's it's crazy how sometimes I guess this exercise people tend to choose one of those, and Michael Jordan, it's hard not to choose him for all that he mean to us and stuff like that. And it's kind of like right now, if I would do that again, like with you, like tomorrow, I would choose like harder characters, the ones that you don't have feelings about. Like,
well, it was interesting. It was interesting when you were talking, when obviously Chris popped up and said, "Oh, what's the name of the Poke?" I knew it was Pokemon only because my daughter had it for a bit, but I didn't know what the name of the character was. But it was really interesting when you were saying you don't have to know the name. Because in a sense, as writers, we kind of think, yeah, there's the name of the character. We try to build the character from it, and that kind of lent me towards how taking it figuratively or literally. So I didn't. So King Charles was not in mind, the actual person. So I just used the name King Charles and applied it, obviously, to the basketball with Charles Barkley, and then know that. They're not friends anymore, but they used to be quite close. So to get that rivalry there, so it's so and you know, with Jordan, you know, it could have been the country Jordan, or it could have been the Jordan, the page 3 girl, the celebrity. So it could have been that. So it's about, in a sense, having the being literal and figurative and just kind of bouncing off that rather than just kind of, you know, having those three characters in a room. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, perfect. And recently I was reading about, I don't know why, but I was reading about the Michael Jordan shoes and how in the entire story of Michael Jordan shoes. And probably if I do this exercise, I will do the story about a kid who really wants to Michael Jordan shoes and it's expensive and stuff like that. So it could be like so different from whatever we all are thinking right now.
Yeah, it's just a bouncing off point in a sense as well. So, yeah, it's good.
Great. And
yes, I don't want to follow that one. No. Well, I don't know basketball. I thought it might be Michael Jordan, but to be honest, I wasn't sure about it. So yeah, I focused on another thing more. But okay, it's also more short, like novel writing. It's not a script. But okay, here goes. Her pulse quickens. Sweat trickles down her face. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this, is all she keeps thinking. But she is there, in the middle of the basketball court, final minute of the game. The hammering of her heart grows louder. She wished it would completely drown out the high school audience, but they are way too loud for it. They are shouting and chanting her name. Ellie, Ellie, Ellie. Her lips tremble. I want Pikachu, she thinks. Oh, how she wishes he could be by her side. She used to bring him to all her games. The small one, not the huge one that stays in the corner of her bed, but the smaller one fitted perfectly in her pocket. She sighs. The crowd's shouting grows louder. She glances at her coach, who looks at her in a stern way. Coach gives her a nod. Just do it, it seems to say. She sighs. Okay, forget that everything depends on this one shot. Forget the crowd. Forget the pressure and the responsibility of being the team captain. In this moment, it wouldn't matter if she was King Charles. She would still have to make the shot. She tightens her grip on the ball, squeezes it, and closes her eyes. Pikachu is there, smiling encouragingly. Her shoulders relax. She opens her eyes, full focus on the hoop. Her knees bend and the arm stretches out as she lets the ball fly. Time stops. All noise disappears, as if she's in a sealed bag. The ball travels in slow motion through the air. It hits the rim of the basket, bounces, and drops out. The crowd starts shouting. Ellie stands frozen. What happened? The other team celebrate. Her team comes running, all talking way too fast. How could you miss? Why didn't you do a jump like you always do? What does this mean? Ellie, what does this mean? She finally unfreezes. What does this mean? Again, she takes a deep breath and looks at her teammates in the eyes. It means we lost, but we'll keep going. We always keep going, right? Her team nods back, looking defeated, but they'll be okay. They'll keep going, just like Pikachu would, and King Charles, and any sports person worthy of their name. The end. Yeah, I could probably find a Pikachu teddy behind me in my son's bed, because I'm sitting in his room, so there's probably at least one Pikachu.
And did you know the name of the owner of Pikachu? The one that no one knows the name?
I don't think so. I don't think he watches. I haven't actually seen it. I just have the teddies. I have so many teddies, but I don't. Sony, I want to say, but I don't know. I'm not sure.
And how was it for you?
I haven't written for quite a while, like myself, anything. Just so it was very hard to just get like deciding if I was gonna write. I like in first person or just that and writing the thoughts. But I wanted the thoughts. I couldn't have done it, I think, in script because then I couldn't have used what she was thinking about. So I had to do it that way. But
Yeah.
no, it was fun. It was very fun.
I used to do lots and lots of these kind of exercises when I was doing my PhD, and I kind of had a bit more time to be creative, and now constant work has like overtaken a lot of my creative time. But so I had a very similar like oh, what do I do? How do I do this kind of reaction? I'm writing a novel at the moment, so I'm doing quite a lot of writing fiction, but yeah, the kind of the flexibility to know like what voice am I using and what, that was like really not there. Like it was so much harder than it used to be to just sit and have something come out.
Yeah. Clarissa.
Oh, this might be a little terrible. Let's try. I made it in a format of a synopsis, so it's not a script as Rex, but it's also not a literary good work. Let's see. Okay, so I'll just go with my English. If you guys don't understand, just stop me, okay? Not a day goes by in which this boy named Pete does not watch a basketball game. His favorite player ever is Michael Jordan, a legend of the sport that, in his point of view, cannot be replaced by no other. In his dreams, Pete usually is Michael Jordan playing a great game. His Pikachu companion does the other players, all of them, of course, shorter than Pete is. On this very specific night, Pete dreams he will have a coronation. Michael Jordan is the king of all players. In his homage, for it to become possible, Pikachu has to steal King Charles' crown. But the task is not easy, even for Pikachu. He will face a great security scheme that is always surrounding the King jewels. After taking so many years to finally win the right to wear the crown, King Charles now keeps the crown right by his side all the time. Because he also suffers of insomnia, King Charles discovers Pikachu trying to steal his crown right in the act. For the surprise of Pikachu, he does not call the guards to arrest him. He tries to understand what is going on and then challenges Michael Jordan to a game so that the winner takes the crown. The game, of course, will not be basketball. It will be a common floor for both of them. Go. And let's the game begin. Pete is the judge and Pikachu is the caddy. At the end of the game, Michael Jordan plays a terrific swing and finds out that, in the end of the day, he is also very talented in this sport. The crown is down with Jordan, and King Charles has a big problem: how to explain the disappearance of the crown. So, in a very insolent act, he decides to make a false copy of the crown for himself. And until nowadays, nobody knows, but the crown that goes in the head of the king is a fake. And that's it.
Great. This is so much more than a synopsis. This is like a short story.
You ask a journalist to make a script, she makes a short story.
Great. I'm kind of a little bit worried about the time because we had 1 hour, so I'm sort of rushing. But please tell me like the next steps of how you traditionally do now.
Well, so we can kind of overspill a little bit, and if anyone has to run away, they can run away. But yeah, so what we usually do after the exercise is just talk about how we experienced the exercise and discuss kind of how it felt and how we might use it in classrooms, and maybe share other ideas for similar exercises. And like I think it was really nice. It's really nice to do that exercise. It really made me think like, oh, I need to be doing this. like every morning, sit at my writing desk and just get a few pages out, because it's so just loosens you up and gets you like match fit, to just regularly just be like generating and creating I think fresh stuff, like a fresh page, a fresh little micro fiction. And yeah, like I said, I'm about 30,000 words into a novel, so I'm writing that 3 or 4 days a week, so I'm generating stuff. But yeah, it's a completely different experience to what I just got from just sitting down and just having random prompts that you have to work with, and then just there you go, get something on the page that that feels like you, right? Because that's a key thing that I'm trying, particularly when I'm writing fiction, is rather than script. I mean script too, but I'm trying to think, how do I make this me? How do I make this thing that I'm writing? How do I make it good? and how do I make it feel like me? And I'm also trying not to think of those two things as well. I'm trying to just get out of my own way and just get onto the page whatever's coming out of me. So I find it really, really useful, and I think I can see how it would be really useful for students to just start a session with an exercise like that. Just there you go, 30 minutes, write a thing,
And I think some sort the idea of like the time, like it's like start now, 10 minutes. I think that helps a lot when because I don't know, we live in this weird time of anxiety and telephones and cell phones and stuff. And I think when students they know they only have a little time to do something, they do it better than like the entire night doing. Probably it wouldn't be that good as like, I'm gonna stop 30 minutes and I'm gonna do that right now, and it's some sort of a game around all of my other colleagues. So I'm always like trying to understand why I think it's so nice, and I think it's around the there is sort of a lack of responsibility when you have like images. Like, oh, it's not. It's like it's the same. Like Chris was saying, how could this be me? And I think this exercise helps to be you without knowing that it's you, because oh, it's not me. It's like those images. But when you like let go of like the super ego of yourself, like it's more about you than would you would do it other way.
Yeah. I think that's really true. I did an exercise a bit like this at just a writing workshop, I think it was, where we were given 6 words and we had to write, like, I think it was about a page microfiction, and just get those 6 words into the page. And yeah, it does the restriction frees you up and yes, it does become very you. And I found that stuff came out of me that did feel very me, but that I wouldn't have thought, of what came out of me, I think, without those random prompts. And then that thing became an entire novel. It became the start of a novel, which is my favorite thing that I've written. So yeah, I think there's something about how the restriction frees you up, Yeah,
I can just add to that. I think that it really shows a little bit what, if I did this with the students, what they're drawn to, like what setting do they use. I put mine in a high school because I'm comfortable right there right now. Where would they choose? They're all over the place sometimes. They think they want to write everything, but something with a timed pressure might just show a little bit more about what comes out first, where do they put it, and do they see, what kind of a main character do they choose? Is it you see pictures of 3 male characters there, like, does that mean that they choose a male character for their one? Or does that, because I all of a sudden started writing as a him, and I'm like, hang on, why am I doing that? Just because they're boys doesn't mean that I have to do that. But just so I think that could also be interesting, and kind of seeing and kind of reflect on, why did they choose that? Was that because the pictures, or was that because they felt more comfortable doing it? And yeah, I think it can show them a little bit where they automatically go when they're under timed pressure. And it's easier to read it when you know that people are waiting for the characters to come up as well. Like, there's going to be a bit of a tension release when you mention King Charles or whatever. So that it's not as much of a pressure to be perfect. It's 10 minutes. And yeah, so I think it's a good one. I think I could see how that would work. I could see how that could lead to some interesting conversations with the students.
Yeah, that thing of it takes the pressure off, doesn't it? Because it's short, it's sharp, it's kind of a silly prompt as well. There you go, it's a silly prompt, time limit, doesn't have to be perfect, and then you're free to stop trying to make every single word perfect, which I definitely do all the time.
And I remember that I did a small exercise just after that one that relates to what Anne was talking about, like, could this be a woman? And the other exercise, the professor, he showed us like 3 minutes of a scene of a movie that no one knew. Like there were no famous actors there. Like, I had no idea who directed that film. I think it's a short film from a friend, whatever. And the film was like suspenseful. It was a thriller, and there were some images. There was someone running and stuff. And what I found interesting after doing this exercise with images, that one, he kind of worked in a genre way. So everyone, when they were writing, like whatever came to their mind after watching that scene, they are all like thriller novels and thriller short stories. And that's something that I think it's amazing when we can like try to understand it. Maybe, okay, it's those 3 images that we were looking at today, but it's a thriller. You can start now, and we can play around the genre part also.
Yeah, it sounds very useful.
I've done free writing with my students last year. I tried it out, and they do get, well, maybe because my university specifically, they usually get very, very anxious about it. So when I say you got to write about for 10 minutes, whatever, they get really anxious, and some do. Even though I kind of say, look, whatever comes out, it doesn't really matter. But some will just stare at a blank page and wouldn't do anything and wouldn't share anything either. And that's the other thing. I don't know, even in this small setting of our esteemed academics and writers, there was a bit of qualification at the beginning. Oh yes, well this is only I'm a journalist. Oh yes, because even though you said, it's 10 minutes, doesn't really matter. You might not you might not finish it. And that's the thing, that we're always very, very conscious of what we write. And we can't create with that kind of, when we're putting kind of reins on ourselves, or just saying beforehand, oh, this might not be funny, or this might not be good enough. And I do find that the students tend to do that. So I'm trying to figure out when the best place to do free writing is. Is it the first term or the second term? Is it in smaller groups or larger groups? Because, writing is so such a kind of a solitary pursuit, but there are writers' rooms and groups where people do write, and sometimes you have to kind of throw the stuff against the wall and see what sticks. And in order to do that, you have to feel confident enough to share your work without any qualifications and saying, oh, this, that, and the other. And so I am going to use this exercise for my next students next term, but I'm going to kind of have to have a real think about when I could place it. And the other thing that I thought was really encouraging was the visual aspect of it. I mean, Chris, you were talking about 3 words, and with prose that's fine, but the visual is great because there's a lot more that you can put onto a visual image, rather than the kind of sometimes rigid interpretations of what a chair looks like, or what someone you just got the word on the page rather than what the image is. So the visualness of those images I just thought was great, because it just does kind of lend to more stories. And but yeah, I'm definitely going to use that for my students next year, if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's the point. Steal everyone else's exercises. Rex, how would you normally do a free writing exercise? Would you just say, like, you've got 10 minutes, write something?
Yeah, I did it twice. I did the one, I think we did it a couple of months ago, where they were inspired by pictures, and I just showed one picture after the other, and it was free writing for about 2 hours, but they could do as much or as little as they could, and they could write in any form they wanted to. And in the end, I didn't share it because I kind of thought that the students there wasn't a show and tell. Right, it was just to kind of get them starting writing, because the course had been very, very rigid up until that point. So it was just write. You've got the freedom to do anything that you want, and then we started on their projects for the course. I'm not quite sure whether that helped or not. I don't know how to quantify that, but at least it gave them the space to write, and that freedom, in a sense, to write. And the interesting part, and I'll just end on this, but the interesting part is that I find it very, very difficult to write free writing. I hate it. And I was sitting there and I saw those 3 ideas, and I just thought, nothing's going to come. I can't figure out anything. And then when you push it, I did, but I don't put that into my own writing at all. I have to, sometimes it takes me years to kind of go, oh, right, it all comes together. And maybe I should do a bit more of this in my own writing to kind of at least kind of grease the wheel that's clunking around inside of the corners of my mind, the creative corners of my mind. Because I just literally, I can be sitting in front of a blank sheet of paper for ages and nothing will happen. There's no stimulus. And so, but this is an idea to get some kind of stimulus, and then that might lead to something else.
Yeah, that's it. Something to just free you up to go with and get over the blockage. I use music a lot with my students with free writing stuff. I'll just put on something instrumental, has to be instrumental, and that can play for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And I just say, just write whatever comes to your mind. You can write something related to the music, but you don't have to. I'm just going to play the music, and you just write for 20 minutes. And I find that is quite good at kind of cutting out the anxiety of, oh, what do I write? Because they're just, yeah, it's a stimulus. They're just focused on them. They've got the music to listen to, and the music's giving them emotions, obviously, because that's what music is so good at. So even if you go with the emotion or go against it, there you go. You've got something, and you put pen to paper, and you can get. That's a good one. I recommend that one. Works well.
I've got to go in a minute to pick up my daughter from wherever she's doing, I don't know, ballet or something, swimming. So I've got to go, but thank you very much. That's just been a great help. But thank you, and I look forward to the next one.
Good to see you.
Thank you, Rex. Nice to meet
Thank you.
See you, Rex. Well, yeah, I was just about to say, does anyone have any other comments? And if not, do you guys want to wrap up and we'll finish the session?
I think just thank Tomas for accepting the invitation to be here with us. Thank you so much, Tomas, for being here.
Thank
for
you.
your time.
Oh,
No,
not
this
at all.
was great
Thanks
fun
for
to be
coming.
part of for the first time. My first, part in this session. It was great. It was great fun. It was great. It's very interesting.
Yeah, good
So
stuff.
thank you.
Thank you, Chris, for the invitation as well.
Thanks for accepting. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.